No pressure at all then. Energy. I hate energy. I'm joking, man. I love energy, guys. Do you know what? I like to move around, and how far can I come with this? I don't like to be like...
I think we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Wicked. James, did you have a video? So my name's Warren Inspire Ryan. I'm an international speaker and confidence coach. And when I first became a speaker, I thought what it was about was sharing information with you guys. Sharing information and wanting to inspire, yes, you guys can see, but wanting to inspire everyone. And that was the biggest mistake that I made, was trying to reach everyone. Because when you try and catch 10 rabbits, you end up catching none. So I want to really hit you emotionally today. I want to create an emotion inside of you that gets you to another level in your life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you want this?
Yes.
I can't hear you. Do you want this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I've just come back from South Africa, and I was doing a speaking tour in South Africa with underprivileged children in the townships of South Africa. Has anyone been to South Africa? No? Okay, so in South Africa, in the townships, they go through a lot of trauma in their lives. They lose parents that they love, and I knew when we were going to go there, we were going to get them in a place where they could heal. Because a lot of people go through a lot of things in their life, and they just bury it deep inside and forget about it. And when I was over in South Africa, I remember sharing my story, and just one by one, the females and the males, they were aged around 6 to 16 years old, just tears running down their eyes. And I said, who else has a story? So I bared my soul. I said, who else has a story? Who is ready to be released from their past? And I put the microphone down, and one by one, they got up on the stage, they picked the microphone up, and they said, this is the first time I've cried in 4 years. I lost my father, but you've tapped something inside of me to make me realize that my story shouldn't be something I should be ashamed of. It should be something that empowers me to do good in this world. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it's just a lot of people, this is a universal problem in the world where a lot of people go through so much shit in their life and they bury it. Especially men, you know, a lot of men back in the UK, probably in the US as well, we're told to like man up a lot. You know, I went through depression in 2012 and I didn't tell anyone about my depression. And on the outside I was playing professional soccer. You would have never noticed that I was depressed, but on the inside I was dying. On the inside I didn't want to live no more. And when I was going through depression, I got to a place where staying alive hurt more than ending my life. And it got me to a place where I was on literally at a place, the rock bottom place in my life where I was going to end my life. And I said to God, I can't do this no more. And I know in my faith that killing yourself was a really bad sin. But I said, God, I can't do this no more. Please give me a sign. If you give me a sign, I'll spend the rest of my life doing your work, helping your people. And following that day, I get a phone call. And this phone call was this American guy. I'm thinking, okay. And he's like, hey Warren, it's my American accent. Hey Warren, you applied for this coaching job in America 2 years ago, but I didn't have the right qualifications to get the job. And he said, someone's dropped out at the last minute, and we have an opportunity for you to go to America, but you've got to leave Friday. And I just looked up and I was like, this is it. I said, yes. I went to see how much money I had in my bank account. I had enough money for a one-way ticket, my US visa, and I left on Friday. And I was coaching kids in America, and if you've got a British accent, you're quite famous in America if you've got a British accent. Yeah. So the kids were like, oh my God, we got a British guy! I was like, jolly oh, jolly oh, jolly oh. And they were like, do you know David Beckham? I could do. Oh my God! All the mums in the back like, can you stay at our house? Can you stay at our house? And I just got all of this love. His children were just giving me this unconditional love, and I'll never forget it. This girl called Jessie, she was like, Warren, you're like my best coach. You're like my bestest coach in the whole wide world. I love everything. I love the training. I love everything. And this, my friend right here, is my BBF. And like, she's just so happy. And I remember one day, I think she fell out with her friend and she's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, you were just happy a minute ago. I know. And I got down to 11 and I was like, look, we're going to have so much fun today. I know whatever. And it's like she went from being extremely happy to like being like extremely upset. And we shifted it around, and that was the first step for me of getting myself out of depression. I realized us adults, we're carrying so much of our past, the trauma from our past with us, and children are just present, and they can just shift like this. And I realized that there's a way out of this depression. And I remember at the time, if you were clinically depressed, there was just a belief in England that it's for life. And I just, in my shop, I said, no, there's a way out. And children, can I have water? Got cotton now, I can't speak cotton now. So, I couldn't speak properly. Okay, so I knew there was a way out. So the first thing I studied was emotional intelligence. I started to realize, why do I feel this way? And I came across a lot of videos about emotional intelligence. I realized a lot of us that are down is because we're thinking about something that is making us feel down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you think about something that you're happy about, how are you going to feel? So it's really kind of like easy to understand like that, and I realized that emotion only lasts 70 seconds and our thoughts recycle it. And I said, you know what, okay, I understand this now. What influences my thoughts? So I started to go deep into my environment. And then I watched a video by, who knows Eric Thomas?
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, what up, it's your boy E.T. And I'm from England, I'm like, whoa. It's a bit too much. And then he's on stage sharing his past about how his mother was on crack cocaine and his dad wasn't in his life. And I'm saying, don't share that. Because they're going to use that against you. They're going to ridicule you, they're going to patronize you. I remember at the same time as I was watching Eric Thomas, one of his videos, I just had tears running down my face because his story was identical to my story. I grew up in a town called Oxford, and my part of Oxford was very deprived. A lot of Irish and Jamaican and criminality, and we call it estates, you guys call it the projects. And that's where I grew up. The estate, we call them estates. Yeah. Our estate's like all the houses look the same. So I grew up in that environment. I was ashamed of my story. I was ashamed of what I went through. Like, I was the oldest of four. My mother had me at 17 years old. My first memories in this world was seeing my mum, like your first love, your mother, being abused by men. I see my mum being punched in her face repeatedly as a child, and that caused massive trauma in my life. And I saw my mum go through depression. I saw my mum stop being maternal. My family got split up when I was 8 years old because my mum got addicted to crack cocaine and heroin, and there was no electricity in my house, and the neighbours didn't care, no one cared, and my family got split up in a system the government called care. But did the government really care, or was I just a number or a statistic? So as a child, I went through so much trauma, and this is what resulted in my depression. Because the miracle in my life was when I was 13, I prayed every single day to God, and I said, God, see, I didn't pray with hope, I prayed as if it was going to happen. And my mum got off drugs when I was 13 years old, and she got us back together again as a family.
Yes.
Only 5% of heroin, by the way. So my mum, my first love, I'm so proud of my mother. So she moved us from Oxford, where all of the drama began, to Bristol. New life for me, new start for me. In school, people didn't know my past, so I made it up. And I became popular in school. People liked me for what I portrayed. But you can lie to other people, but you can't lie to yourself. So I had all of this, I had the real truth inside of me, and this is what caused my depression. Because of the beliefs that I had, the habits that I created from my past. Because society will tell you that if your life doesn't look like what you see in the magazines, then you're broken. And anyway, Eric Thomas, when I was watching Eric Thomas's video, and I was crying, and this man is on stage, and he's sharing his story in a way where I'm like, wow, I didn't see it like that. Perception. And I shared my story online. And my Twitter went from 200 followers to 20,000 followers in such a short space of time. People messaged me saying, Warren, I don't know who you are, but I was about to end my life and you just saved it. And that was when I fell in love with people and I knew my purpose. And I said, God, I stopped saying why me and I said what for. And when I said what for, I became a teacher. And I realized that I had to go through what I went through, that my mother and I've never seen my father before, but they fulfilled their contracts for me. Because I've become the man that I am today through the things that I've gone through in my life. I have the empathy that I have right now to be able to connect, emotionally to connect with human beings, for them to open up to me and to trust me because they can feel me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that was my power, that's my tool, that's my cause and my purpose. From that moment onwards, I said I'm going to become one of the best speakers in the world and I'm going to reach 1 million lives in 5 years. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I care so much about what people think of me at the time. I cared about being judged, being ridiculed. But you know, sometimes you only find your purpose in this world, nothing can stop you. And I feel like this is why I'm here today, because I know some of you guys have tapped into your purpose, and I want you to tap into an emotion that says, look, I'm going to go all out.
Yeah.
That on my deathbed, I can say to my Creator, I can say to my children, I did everything I could.
Yes.
Because we live in a world right now where technology can make us become complacent and lazy, and you do what everybody else is doing in this world.
Great.
And for me, what I really want to plant an emotion inside of you, because I believe when you find the purpose, the cause, you go all out in your businesses and in your life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like my business is fully to serve people,
Right.
100%. If money didn't exist, I'd still do what I'm doing right now. Money follows me now. Money's my boy. Does that make sense? I'm not a slave to money anymore. I saw the traps, I saw the game.
Right.
And I realized if you do what you love, and you serve people, and you add value to this world, money will follow you. And this is what's allowed me to travel the world. And to share this message is that I want you to get into a place right now, because sometimes people need a car crash in their life to really wake up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I had that car crash, but the mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real. So if I can tap an emotion inside of you to get you in that place where you are like, shit, he's talking to me. Because I'm not talking to everyone, I'm talking to someone in this room.
Come on.
And I want that emotion to do something for you where you say, look, I'm not going to procrastinate no more, because I don't know how much time I've got left in this world. And I'm going to make a dent in this world. And the first thing, guys, I want you to remember is that you need a cause. You need a why bigger than your family. You need a why so big that it gets you up every single day. When I first stepped foot on a stage, I was scared. I was scared. But my why was like, Warren, you're not doing this for yourself, you're doing this to help people. For that child that's suffering, who feels like they're alone, they're going to hear me and say, crap, Warren's gone through what I've gone through. And look where he is right now. So when you tap into that purpose, I think what cripples most entrepreneurs and business owners and people in general is ego-based fear. It's what? Ego-based fear is the fear of, what if I'm not good enough? What if I get on this stage? Like, what if I travel all the way from London to America and people say, I'm not good enough? What if you're not smiling? Why are you not smiling? You're not enjoying this? Right? So all of these internal dialogues that we're having with ourselves about that we're not good enough. And it's the ego-based fear that's holding you back. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is your business valuable?
Yes.
Can your business change people's lives?
Yes.
We need to be grabbing attention in our businesses. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I said to myself, is this, when you found that cause, that why, I need to teach people how to be. Just how to speak freely. How to share your story without feeling embarrassed to share your story. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, once you have the why, it doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how many times you make a mistake. People are going to laugh at you, people are going to judge you. Does that make sense? You're going to lose friends, so-called friends, when you first start out on this journey. When you go all out, because people want you to have a good life, but they don't want you to have a life better than theirs.
Oh. Say it again for the people in the back.
So would you agree that you need that confidence to be able to stand up for what you believe in? Yeah. To stand and say, I'm the best coach out there. Even before you are. Like Muhammad Ali said, I was the world's greatest before I was the world's greatest. Does that make sense? Sometimes you got to put yourself on that pedestal. Sometimes you got to put yourself at that #1 spot. And you got to have the confidence to be able to deal with the criticism. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, who has a business right now where you feel a bit uncomfortable with selling your services? You know when you sell, it feels a little bit icky-wicky inside? You feel that? I don't like selling. Do you feel icky-wicky? Icky-wicky?
Yes.
What's your business?
It's a health and wellness business called Arbonne.
I know Arbonne. I coach a lot of Arbonne. Okay, amazing. So, should we sell your product?
Yes.
Okay, come to the front. So as confidence, guys, the ego-based fear, wants to keep you cool. Everyone, show me your cool faces. So, show me your cool face. Beyonce face. Okay, so the ego-based fear wants to keep you safe, wants to keep you looking good, doesn't want you to stand out. The ego-based fear wants you to fit in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can you be successful in your business if you fit in?
No.
Huh? Everyone say no. You got to stand out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You need to stand out. Okay?
Yeah.
There's two types of attention. Sometimes people don't know their worth and they need attention from elsewhere to make themselves feel better. That's the wrong type of attention. But if you've got a product or a service that can add massive value to people's lives, you need to be like a lighthouse in the middle of the night, directing all the ships your way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so tell the audience who you are.
I'm Lucretia Lomax and I'm an Arbonne consultant.
Ooh, amazing. How do you help people?
By providing them healthy products that could help them with weight loss, and also by providing them skincare that does not have all the parabens and different types of chemicals that are harmful for you.
Amazing. And if you had just a minute to sell one of your products to someone in here, okay, it's a challenge. You got 1 minute to sell one of your products. Oh my, I don't want to sell any of my products. Guys, again, the ego-based fear would rather you look cool than sell your services. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I want you guys to have the confidence to be able to sell your services. I want you guys to do Facebook Lives and be like, this is who I am. Up in here, up in here. Okay, so 1 minute, okay, maybe 2 minutes to sell one of your products to the audience.
To the audience, you guys have got to get on my health and wellness program. We have nutrition products that can help you lose weight. It's easy to do. All you have to do is just supplement some of the bad stuff that you're probably eating right now. It's cost efficient, $9 a day. You can afford it. You deserve it. Your body deserves it.
That was good for your first time. Okay? But how, on a scale of 0 being like, why am I standing up here? And 10 being like,
Yeah.
where are you on that scale?
Like 6.
6, okay. Did you see when she was selling her services, she was a little bit submissive?
Yeah.
I was seeing it in your body language, how you were speaking, right? Okay, so who's going to buy what? Did you say which product it
It's
was?
it's a health and wellness program. It's a fitness program.
But what product are you selling? One
It's
product.
a 30-day to healthy living detox.
Okay, so sell it. Get someone to buy it. Now.
So who wants to lose weight, feel amazing? This 30-day detox program, it costs about $260 something. You can afford it. Like, you spend that much money on stuff that's not good for you. So why not invest in yourself and invest in your health?
Okay, sell it. Sell the product. Got a minute left. Quick, sell the product.
You got this?
Join me on my next 30 days. Who wants
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Everybody in here.
Is everyone going to buy your product?
Yes.
No, they're not going to buy your product. Okay, we're going to speed this up, okay? I'm going to be you now, okay? I'm going to be an Arbonne. I'm going to sell one of your products, okay? So it's a 30-day detox program. And this is ideal for people who are...
Just want to feel better or lose weight.
Okay, cool. Guys, if you are in a place right now in your business where you're putting so many hours in your business, but you keep eating those donuts, those Krispy Kreme donuts, and you really want to start looking after your health because your health is your... Your health is your... Okay, so if you want to lose weight, guys, put your hands up. Let me see how many people want to lose weight.
Yes.
Okay, Who is in a place right now where they're like, you know what? I'm ready to have a partner to be accountable with, and I'm going to literally go all in with my new body because I deserve to have the best body. Put your hands up, guys, if you want this. Like, come to the stage if you want that body, guys. Come on. Like, run to the stage, guys. Run to the stage. Okay, run to the stage. Run to the stage. Okay, guys. On a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you want?
10.
10. Okay. Ooh, I like that.
11.
11.
10.
10.
What am I doing?
On a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you want this?
11.
11?
100.
100, amazing. So, listen guys, we've got a 30-day detox program, right?
Yes.
30-day detox program. You're gonna get our mentorship as well? Our coaching?
Yes.
We're gonna guide you through step by step.
Yes.
Yeah? So, we're gonna get you in a group, so you're all gonna be held accountable. Are you all ready to go do this?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, 100%?
100%.
Okay, so but can you see this right now?
I see it.
Who's in on this 30-day detox?
Yes.
So right now, guys, what I just want to demonstrate to everyone right now, when you have that confidence in your business, people come to you.
Absolutely.
Right? When you, right? See? She was like, I want to do this too. Yeah? So in your businesses, guys, we need to remove the ego-based confidence. We need to remove the what?
Ego-based confidence.
Sister, like you said before, people need to know, like, and trust you. Do you feel like you know me?
Yes.
Yeah? A little bit, share my story, okay? Feel like you trust me?
Yes.
Yeah? Will you buy from me?
Yes.
Okay? Why? What is it about, what was the difference when we did the 2 minutes?
Energy.
Energy, what else? Connection,
Your passion.
passion, what else?
You sounded like you believed in it.
I believe in it because it... I believe in it too, yeah? So the biggest thing, guys, we need to learn is to remove the ego-based fear. But every single person in this room, you need a cause. Something close to your heart. You need a cause. Okay? You've been through something in your life. Maybe you're still grieving. Maybe you're still hurting from that. There are people that are stuck in that place. How would your soul feel if you could help another soul who's hurting, who's been through the same thing that you've been through? That right there tells me that it doesn't matter what comes my way, I'm going to give everything that I've got to make this happen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I know someone in this room, one soul in this room, from this talk onwards, your life will never be the same again. And you're going to do things that scare you. You're going to speak up when everybody's silent. You're going to stand up. Public speaking is the #1 most feared thing to do. Yeah? So you need to stand up here and say, look, I don't care about people laughing at me anymore. I want to look my children in the face and say, look, I've given you everything I could in this world. I've given you time. I've done everything that I could. Someone in this room today, I didn't travel here for nothing. Aisha, James, you didn't put on this amazing event for nothing. Someone's life. Because I go to loads of events. People hear it, yes, oh my God, that makes so much sense, but they don't act upon it. You don't have forever. Just something in your soul is going to light up today. That's all I wanted to do was to plant that seed in your soul. And then you go out. Tomorrow, it starts now, but tomorrow, your family are going to see the difference. And you're going to show up in this world, and people are going to see your light for the first time. Because we all have a light inside of us. Every single one of us has a light inside of us. I'm sharing my light right now. This is me expressing. Because the opposite of depression is expression. And this is me. And all of us have got a light inside of us. And it's my mission to be able to just open this to all of you guys, to invite you. Because some of you have amazing businesses, and you need to get the world doing your service, having your service, having your products. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can you give all of the volunteers a big round of applause? And Dawn's looking at me like, I just want to say, guys, from the bottom of my heart, you know, sometimes I can talk for a whole day, you know, I do workshops, and I work with people that really want to go all out in their businesses, who are ready to step up, to build a brand, because I believe if you can speak, you can influence.
Yes.
And if you can influence, you can change people's lives.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening to me. Tasha, you touch my soul. Thank you. Okay, so it's been a journey. I've been on this journey now for the last 6 years. Back in 2012, my journey started in America, in Pennsylvania, in a place called Du Bois. And when I shared my story online, and when I shared my story online, I had people from around the world reach out to me and say, I don't know who you are, but you just changed my life. And this become my life purpose, my God mission in life. And one thing that I had to do in order to live the life that I've lived now is I've had to forgive.
Yes.
And forgiveness, guys, you know, sometimes I've been white. I've always been an old soul. So when I was young and my mother was using drugs and choosing men over us, and when we went into care, I just understood my mum had an illness. My mum was ill. I knew that wasn't my mum at the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I thought I'd forgiven my mother. But as I grew up and going through this journey back in 2012, I knew that I hadn't forgiven my mum. And I believe there's a lot of people that are maybe listening right now where you feel like you've forgiven people, your parents, people that have hurt you in the past, but you haven't truly forgiven them. And I feel like not until you truly forgive those people that have hurt you, you can then move on in your life. And sometimes we blame the way that your life has gone down through your parents, but we have to blame them for the person that you've become as well, the good things as well. You know, I blame my mum for me having the heart that I have because my mum couldn't show me the maternal love, so I had to learn to become love. But I had to learn to forgive my mum, truly forgive my mum, and I think a lot of anger comes out when you do that as well, because I took myself into a room and I said to myself, like, I had to really, like, Mum, I said words that I didn't mean, but it was just a voice, it was suppressed emotions inside that had to come out. I said, Mum, why did you do that? Why did you choose drugs over our family? Why did you do this? And in doing that, I allowed that attachment, the pain from the past, I allowed myself to move on. And a process now is that I'm a dad now, I'm a father now. And you know, I grew up with just my mum, and like, I was like, my mum's my mum and my dad. I don't need a dad. In my heart, I said, I don't need a dad. But when I became a father myself, I kind of realized what I missed out on.
Come on.
And I thought, you know, I've always I never had any hate towards my dad, but I did have pain, you know? And the same process, I had to really say, Dad, why wasn't you there? And I spoke to my dad for the first time a year ago. Wow. And I'm meeting him for the first time on my birthday next week. But my dad's from Jamaica, and he's very typical Jamaican, and doesn't show his culture. Just when I spoke to him on the phone, he wasn't emotional, and it upset me, kind of thing. So I had to again get angry. You know, I said, Dad, just what I wanted to say. I was like, Dad, why haven't you been there? Everything that I wanted to get out, I got out, and then I was beating up my pillow. I was beating it up. I was thinking of my dad, and then at the end of it, I learned to hug that pillow and say, Dad, I love you. Because you only saw what you could see. And sometimes it's a blessing to have the awareness that you have to love. And I believe this journey that I'm on is all about love. And you can't just love some and hate others. And I don't believe you fall in love, I believe you are love.
Yes. Yes.
And when you are love and you're operating at that vibration, you can change the world. And I'm proof of that, because when I first said this, my first ever event, I had 50 people attend. 2 years later, I had 1,000 people attend.
Wow.
And people travel from India, Dubai, America to come to this event. And I believe it's the love. You know, when you operate from that loving place where you are love, you don't discriminate, and you learn to love. And I feel I feel people's pain. You know, I might cry. It says I'm not just crying for me, I cry for those who feel like they can't cry.
Right.
And this is what the forgiveness is all about. And you've got to forgive yourself first. And when you truly forgive,
you can move on. I've done some amazing things. I've been a vessel for the last 6 years of my life. God has used me in such a way where I've traveled the world and I do this for a living. And every single day I wake up, I'm doing things that are changing people's lives. And it all started from that forgiveness. And it's a process. But you have to truly forgive. And you have to be the person that has the awareness to phone that person who is stubborn, who will not phone you to apologize. And you have to phone them and say, I apologize. See, you apologize to them because you've blamed them for the things that have happened after what's happened in your life. You are responsible for everything after that thing happens in your life. When you're an adult, you're responsible for your life. I said when I was going to change the world and I'm going to be the person I'm going to be, I'm responsible for my life. My father is not responsible for my life. My mother is not responsible for my life. I am responsible for my life. And I said, as long as I got God, everything's possible. And I've created all of this through just literally believing in faith. Not seeing it with my eye, but seeing it in my mind and knowing that if I just keep walking, everything's going to come out. The path will reveal itself. And that's what's happened. And in that place, it's just love. It's loving people. You see, when I see you and you feel my energy, because I'm sending you love. Because we are each other. We are one. And I want to thank both of you two for inviting me here. Because I believe everything happens for a reason. And I can feel the pain. I can feel the love in this room. It's actually, you touched my heart. And really, I think all the speakers today, you've touched me in a way where you've reminded me of why we're doing this. And this is not about us, it's bigger than us. And Wendy, when you talked about the why has to be so big. Because sometimes people feel like just good things happen to me. You know, when you're positive, good things, you kick me, I'm just like, I'm positive. That's not the case. You know, I think when you serve a why bigger than yourself, it's a pull. My calling's a pull. I'm pulled out of bed every single morning. I'm pulled to do this every single day. I'm pulled to be this voice. I'm pulled to stand up on a stage and people to judge me. I'm pulled for this. But I believe when you have that why bigger than yourself, you do things that you thought you couldn't, that you thought was never possible. And it all stems from that forgiveness. You know, I forgive people that hurt me, and I love people, and I realize that people can only communicate in two ways. One is love, and the other one is I need help.
That's true.
But the I need help sometimes sounds like and we have to have the awareness to understand this, that when people are saying negative things towards you, they're really asking for help.
Right.
And when you see that, you can't help but love people. But I believe loving, you have to learn to love. I think it's something that you need to learn to love. And I learned from a mother. I used to go in coffee shops and watch mothers hold their children and see their pupils dilate and the way that they touch their child. And I learned to love like a mother. And I had to practice this because when I was going through depression, it was all about me. I was selfish in that process. But when I realized that actually, it's bigger than myself. You learn to love people and you don't see color, you don't see gender, you don't see religion, you just see souls, and I see souls. And I believe we're all here for a reason. Everyone who came today, you're going to come away with something that's going to change your life. And you don't need to know the how. And you don't need to be perfect. And you fail your way to success. And when you first start out, you're going to make mistakes. But making mistakes is a part of the process.
Come on.
When you watch your children learn to walk, they don't just stop because they fell over, they get back up again. And when you come from that place, you know that everything happens for a reason and you live life. And I believe I don't want to die with all of this stuff inside of me. I want to die empty in my soul. And I love all of you. Every single one of you, I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I want you to feel I truly want you to feel this love. And I believe, you know, sometimes I say I'm doing this all for God, so I don't need people to tell me that they love me and stuff. And sometimes I wouldn't even accept it because I'm doing this for God. And I didn't realize God was showing his love through you.
Yes.
So I just want to say I love you all. And I want to say love you for you, James, and you, Aisha, for bringing me over here, for meeting amazing, incredible people. Thank you for them. Thank you to every single one of you as well. And just remember, you don't need to know the how. Just be a loving person. Serve people. Help people. Go out of your way to help people. The person that serves you in the shop is going through something. Treat them with love. Celebrate every single soul that you meet. Give them the attention that they need. And I promise you, God, people, the world will look after you in this world. Thank you so much, guys.